Hey traders, welcome back to the FX YouTube channel. Hope everyone is good today. Unfortunately, I'm a little under the weather this weekend. I'm a little worried that I may have caught, you know what? Last night I had a fever over 40 degrees, and to be honest, this is the first time all weekend that I felt well enough to get out of bed. So bear with me, as my energy levels are going to be much lower than they usually are. And I do have one more update. I found a solution to integrate the main components that I usually edit in after I produce the videos, and that will allow me to directly post my videos to YouTube without doing any editing after or doing any post-processing, and it should save me up to an hour in processing time. So I should be able to get my videos up much quicker than I have been in the past, and that'll be extremely useful for when I do a London video or a New York video, because the videos will actually be posted before the session starts. Anyways, let's get into the analysis. So first of all, I want to start with the fundamentals. Some important things have happened. So ECB increased the interest rates last week 50 points, and that was higher than the 25 points that was anticipated, which is good for euro and should give it some strength. But this week we have FOMC on Wednesday evening, and the Fed is expected to increase the rate 75 points. So it may completely counteract any of the strength that was brought to euro last week, later this coming week. And aside from that, there's not really much in terms of significant news events this week. So starting with DXY on the weekly time frame, you can see we're still bullish. We continue to have drives to the upside. We've had 3 consecutive weeks of bullish candles, and then the last candle was a bearish candle. We've pushed down quite a bit already, the 50% of the last leg. So at this point, if we continue bullish on DXY, it could really reverse at any point from now. If we go to the daily time frame, so yeah, you can see the 3 consecutive legs to the upside with significant pullbacks in between, like we're currently seeing right now. And you can see we started to break some structure points to the downside. But this structure point we only broke to a wick, but I think this right here, or this one, is actually more important, and this one we did close below. And like I said, currently we are at the 50% of the last leg up, so there is potential for the price to reverse from here when we look at this time frame. And if we go to the 4-hour, which for me is the most important in terms of trading and building my biases, so as of right now, you can see we had this distribution, and then we came down, created a chalk, and pushed down a little lower. We're currently consolidating right now, and if I was to take a guess, it looks like we're distributing again, so redistribution. We broke to the downside with a close, so this entire demand area has been broken on the 4-hour time frame. And if we look closely, you can see on this what I'm looking at as distribution right now, you can see we had multiple liquidations to the upside. So you can see a sweep here, tapping into supply, and then after that having that aggressive move to the downside, breaking the lows. that push down created a supply zone. We've already tapped into it. So for me, if I'm analyzing on the 4-hour time frame, DXY is bearish on this time frame, and we can expect further continuation to the downside. But honestly, I don't expect it to go down forever, as we have the Fed increasing the interest rates on Wednesday evening. So I'm expecting the first half of the week to be bearish, and the second half of the week to shift bullish again. I'd like to see the price come down further, and then mainly monitor this demand zone to see if that's the demand that we may potentially react off. If we get down there like midweek, then I would say there's probably a good chance that this may be the demand that holds, and potentially we can see reversals off of the latter half of the week. And in terms of what I would be looking for, obviously I don't trade DXY, but in terms of price action that I would be looking for, so from here we could come up a little deeper into supply, look for a shift, and then after that start to push down to the downside. And like I said, keep an eye out on this demand for potential reversal areas. But at the same time, we've already tapped into supply. There is potential that, we may just come down from here. We may just come down right from here. And then we need to watch this demand to see the reaction off of it, especially if we get there midweek, because that could be the area that we reverse from. Okay, so now let's go to EU. So on the weekly time frame first, so you can clearly see it's essentially the opposite of what we were just seeing in DXY. The weekly is still bearish. We've had multiple legs to the downside. We had our last 3 drives down with ending with a bullish candle last week, and we've already tapped into the 50% of the last leg. So if I was going purely on the weekly, I would say we're still bearish, and we can turn around and reverse and push to the downside any moment now. If we go on the daily, so on the daily, you can see price has been pushing up. Yeah, this is right. Okay, so yeah, price has been pushing up for almost 2 weeks now. We've had that 50% pullback of the last leg down, and right now it's consolidating. So on the daily, kind of looks like potentially we may see the price come down and reverse from here, but at the same time, yeah, it could come up a little higher as well and then reverse. But if we focus more on the 4-hour, which we do the bulk of the analysis and also use it to build our biases. So on the 4-hour, what do we see? So you can see we've been bullish. We had a 4-hour chalk. We had a fake chalk here, by the way, and we pushed down even lower, but we had another one now, and since then we've been pushing higher. We broke the supply, but it's only been with a wick. Haven't closed above it. What else can we see? It kind of looks like we're accumulating right now. We came down deep into demand. Demand held, and this is with, I believe it was a 4-hour, a 5-minute refine, and also a 1-minute refine that we just tapped into in reverse. So it was a very nice confluence. Unfortunately, I missed this long. I was in this short, but I missed this long because I got sick of watching the price and went to take my wife to the supermarket, and the price came back down while I was away, so I didn't get an entry, and right after that the price just pushed up like crazy to the upside. I don't know, for me it looks like accumulation, but it could just as easily be distribution. We're kind of at a decision point to see if we're going to push up higher and break the highs with a close, or start to come down from here, because you can see the supply is also more or less holding as well, aside from that sweep of the supply on this candle. For now, if I look at this, I'm more bullish than I am bearish, but we really need to watch the interaction of what happens between this supply and this demand. I would like to see a continuation to the upside the first part of the week. So as I said, ECB interest rate hike should hold strength in the euro for the short term, coming up to potentially this supply by midweek. And if we're around that area by Wednesday, then look for that area as an area to look for shorts from, mainly because once the Fed increases the interest rates for the dollar, then dollar is going to gain a lot of strength. It's going to more or less counteract all the gains that we saw from the ECB interest rate hike. But let's see what happens. The first scenario I could see is this is in fact accumulation. We've already came down to demand, deep into demand here. We came up, tested supply, pushed back down, tested demand again, and I could see price continuing to the upside from here. And one other scenario I could see is, maybe this is distribution and we start to see a corrective push to the upside. And if we start to see a corrective push to the upside, then my feeling is we may just start slamming down from here. So anyways, like I said, my feeling as of right now, if we focus more on the fundamentals, first part of the week, I'd like to see EU come up a little higher, and in the latter half of the week, we start to reverse and push down and potentially attack the lows again. So that's it for me. I hope you guys found value in this analysis. Let me know your thoughts about the price action this coming week by dropping a comment below. And if you found value in this video, please be sure to click the like button and subscribe to ensure you don't miss any future videos. And enjoy the rest of the weekend. Peace.